This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 447, Under the Microscope, The Mad Fientist, Part 2, by the Mad Fientist of madfientist.com. And I am Dan, the guy who reads to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance. I do that each Monday through Friday. And maybe you have some ideas for what you'd like to hear me read here on Optimal Finance Daily. If you do, come share those topic requests with us at oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com. And this episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Learning, the online learning platform with thousands of expert-led video tutorials to help you build your business, tech, and creative skills. LinkedIn Learning now features content from lynda.com, the leader in online learning for the past 20 years. For a free 30-day trial, visit linkedin.com/finance and start achieving more today. Now, today is a continuation of yesterday's post, so if you are new here, I would recommend listening to yesterday's episode first. Otherwise, this one's not going to make a whole lot of sense to you. But if you are all caught up and ready to go, let's get right to part 2 as we optimize your life. Under the Microscope, The Mad Fientist, Part 2, by the Mad Fientist of madfientist.com. Future investment changes. I'm sitting on a lot of cash right now because I've yet to invest the proceeds from our recent house sale. I'm also bad at manually buying investments in my taxable account, so I was already sitting on too much cash even before the house sold. The reason I'm waiting to invest that cash is because I'm currently applying for a UK visa, and the British government wants to see that I have enough cash, they ignore invested assets, to support myself, so I'll need to keep that money in cash until my visa application has been approved. Once that happens, I will invest the entire lump sum into a newly created Betterment account with a 90% 10% stock bond allocation. I also plan to adjust my overall portfolio allocation a bit this year, but I need to do some more research first because I want to make sure my allocation is as tax efficient as possible. Look out for an upcoming post on that topic soon. Post-retirement income strategy. After leaving my job for good, I plan to build a Roth IRA conversion ladder and will use that to sustain myself after the initial 5-year waiting period. My taxable accounts and supplemental income will provide sufficient income in the meantime. I have a love-hate relationship with real estate. I love the idea of it, but I hate actually dealing with it. But I may decide to invest in rental real estate in my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. To learn about real estate and the Pittsburgh market in particular, I may get my real estate license and work for a bit before diving in myself. Why not get paid to learn something rather than pay to learn something? This is just a pipe dream at the moment, though, so it's possible I'll just decide to stick with stress-free index funds. Post-FI plans. Once my wife stops working, I'd love to spend a third of the year in America, where my family lives, a third of the year in Scotland, where my wife's family lives, and a third of the year somewhere else in the world. I plan to focus more on music, classical piano, blues guitar, and synth programming. Expand my efforts on my side projects, write some computer programs that I've been planning to write for a while, and even potentially get a job in a completely new field that interests me. You can see why I shy away from the word retirement. Best part of being on the path to FI. While achieving FI can take some time, the happiness you get from realizing you're not trapped for the next 4 decades is immediate, and the power you get from having a bunch of money in the bank follows shortly after. Once you have that FU money, as my buddy Jim from jlcollinsnh.com likes to call it, the world is yours. You can make demands that you wouldn't have thought to make before, and your life becomes even more enjoyable as you pursue the ultimate goal of financial independence. Biggest challenge while pursuing FI. I've tried to keep my pursuit of FI quiet offline because I don't like people knowing how much money I have saved, and I feel weird talking about money in general with friends, family, and other people who are on the normal path, since it's so drastically different than the path I've chosen. So the hardest part has been dealing with the awkward conversations that I've had after more and more people in my real life have found out what I've been up to with my finances. Questions for your fellow Fientists. I'd specifically like to get some feedback from any real estate people out there. Is it worth pursuing the idea of purchasing a few buy and hold single or multifamily rental properties? If I decide to hire a management firm, do they really take on the bulk of the hassle and stress, or does quite a lot of nonsense seep through? Any parting advice? Focus on the things you can control, like the amount you save, the amount of taxes and fees you pay, etc., and ignore the things you can't, like what the market is doing, etc. Once you have some FU money built up, use that power to create a better life so that you are happier while you pursue full FI. It's amazing what you can do when you just ask, but people are so afraid to ask, they never do. FU money is a ridiculously powerful thing, so use it when you have it. Mad Fientist's comments. Even though it's weird giving myself advice, I know there are things I can improve on, so here are my 2 cents. It's obvious you can't be trusted to manually invest your taxable money since you have such a high percentage of your portfolio in cash, so you need to automate your taxable investing. Once you get your Betterment account set up, schedule automated investments to take money out of your checking account and invest it every month. This will reduce the amount of cash you have on hand and will increase your overall returns. It's also apparent you like to plan things out a lot before pulling the trigger on anything. While it's probably a good idea to do a lot of research before diving into real estate, make sure you don't just research for decades and let good opportunities pass you by. You'll learn more by actually doing, so you'll have to just dive in at some point if you really want to get into real estate investing. Finally, be careful with the slippery slope of saving up just a bit more money before quitting. It sounds like you have enough saved up to allow you to take Mr. Money Mustache's advice and remove money completely from your decision-making process. So if you still enjoy your job and would keep doing it for free, by all means keep doing it. But if not, find something else that you would be happy doing for no pay. Besides that, everything looks great. Smart guy. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled Under the Microscope, The Mad Fientist by the Mad Fientist of MadFientist.com. And this episode has been brought to you by LinkedIn Learning, now featuring lynda.com content, the leader in online learning for the past 20 years. LinkedIn Learning is for problem solvers, for go-getters, for people who want to make moves in their career. Maybe you want to sharpen your accounting skills, improve your profitability, or learn about risk management. Everything you need to achieve more is on LinkedIn Learning. Now, time is money, and whether you work in accounting or just deal with spreadsheets as part of your workflow, LinkedIn Learning can improve your efficiency. They have an extensive library of dedicated Excel courses and tutorials, so you can master things like advanced formulas and pivot tables. They also offer training on QuickBooks, covering everything from bookkeeping basics to processing payroll. LinkedIn Learning works with software publishers to develop up-to-date courses on all of the latest software every time a new version is released. And LinkedIn Learning has courses for all experience levels, covering a wide range of technical skills, creative techniques, business strategies, and more. Now, I got to see how easy it was to find the right video course from their extensive library. I did a search for personal finance and got to take Jane Barrett's Managing Your Personal Finances course. It's great because you can learn from start to finish or jump to a specific chapter, like budgeting tools, for example. Plus, there are transcripts for each video so you can watch, listen, or read along. There are no hidden charges or upsells. Access all the courses you want, all for one monthly price, and it's available worldwide. Learn from anywhere and from your computer, tablet, or mobile device. Now, we've got a special deal for you here on Optimal Finance Daily. You can get a free 30-day trial with LinkedIn Learning today by visiting linkedin.com/finance. That's linkedin.com/finance, all lowercase, and we thank them for sponsoring this podcast. And that'll do it for today. I will see you back here tomorrow, where we'll hear from Zen Habits and where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.